Flying far above the world below, and I can't even tell where I'm going. Gliding through the clouds of memories in and out, fading, fading, fading away. I love to fly over the blue, too high over with your love that lifted me high and high above the world. Do you read me over? Do you read me, read me, read me? Flying high above the mountain tops as I flow with the wind's new direction. I go where I feel this love is very real. It takes me higher, higher every day. This is a Yelp review of my notary business here in San Francisco I've had the past 10 years. It is by a Natasha V, who has only one review, and that's mine, since April 18th, 2018. Natasha V wrote, "Owner is a cyberstalker and seeks out many people to bully. She should not be trusted with any personal data or information or your business. San Francisco has many notaries. Use another. She spent 3 months bullying a complete stranger, so question is why. Not recommended, and I pray for her other victims. I am not the first. I would like to be the last one she gets away with targeting. Period." This is what this podcast is about, the dishonesty and lack of integrity of particular women involved in politics who do not have any foundation in truth, who are unrepentant, and who are dishonest with the public. That it's all about power and winning the game has nothing to do with truth. And her name is really TruthNatasha on YouTube. And that's what this podcast is about. What this lady just reviewed on my notary business, she's not my customer. Another crazy who is not my customer. I've had 3 women now who are not my customers who carry on like this, lying about me and falsely accusing me all the time. That's what they do because they have some kind of mental problem. I want to point out this mental problem because it's really affected my life. I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything, but since I was a kid, I have been accused by mentally ill people like this woman. And I want to point out right now the lies of this person, what this was all about, okay, and how she just overlooks everything and goes back to her subjective point of view and what she wants to say and what she wants to believe, and how she completely overlooks the facts and the reality of what actually happened. And I'm going to point out right now exactly what happened, and then you can once again read her review and say, how does what she wrote have anything to do with reality? Which it doesn't. It has nothing to do with reality whatsoever. What it does have to do is her delusional state of mind and her inability for self-reflection. This is Cheryl Merrill, and it is November 12, 2019 on a Tuesday evening. Hope you're doing well today. It was just brought to my attention that this lady who was just, in my opinion, she's out of her mind, completely delusional and out of touch with reality, in my opinion. She wrote the Yelp review about me that Yelp did not put out publicly, but it's in the not recommended section. That had I seen it, I would have protested it immediately. I never saw it. But it is available for people to read, and I don't appreciate Yelp putting that in there because this person was not my customer. And not only was she not my customer, but she wrote some really nasty things about me that are not based in any fact whatsoever. Okay. This lady, TruthNatasha, has her own YouTube channel, and she is probably the most delusional person who I've ever witnessed. She's cut off all of her comments. She will not allow comments on her YouTube channel. Most people who have YouTube channels, at least, they'll filter, they'll review it before they release it if they feel uncomfortable or have anxiety about what people attacking them or whatever. But this person just doesn't want to hear anyone else's opinion. And so at one point, she has, I listened to her channel about a year and a half ago during the right after Trump won, and I was listening to her videos off and on, and I found her interesting. She was more of an actress, but she was also very, very convincing. She was convincing that she had, inside communications with the White House and things like that, and began to realize that she was just a con. And it was interesting how she drew the audience into believing she had filed a lawsuit fighting for the rights, First Amendment rights against Google and things like that, YouTube, and, fighting for the people kind of thing. And I think that these were just publicity stunts because publicity stunts, but coupled with her own delusions, because she's pretty out there. I don't recommend anybody, listen to TruthNatasha. TruthNatasha has some real serious problems, and it's all in the public newspapers about her federal criminal charges filed against her in separate cases. One was threatening a federal judge, and another was about kidnapping children and being violent and crazy. So that happened within the past 5 years. And the reason I'm bringing this up, though, is because I understand why TruthNatasha has cut off her comments, because she doesn't have any capacity to respond in a rational, mature way to comments. And so what she does is she goes into a full attack mode. I sent her $1 in PayPal, and I wanted to say, well, here's your $1 for your videos, but I wanted to let you know I don't think it's right that you are attacking the Salvation Army I'm a member of as being a fraud organization. She had this header in a YouTube that I had seen about the Salvation Army and the Red Cross, and I don't know, and another one. And in the Salvation Army, she presented her own testimony about, I just was a member, and I had just gotten on board with them, and I didn't agree with her calling it a fraud organization. I was also working at the Salvation Army as a temporary in the 80s in Palos Verdes. And their organization is well respected. It's not a fraud organization. So she's going to be asking for money, asking for donations for her channel, and she can't handle that I sent her $1, and she sends me this nasty letter that I put up on my blog. If she's going to do that and participate in that kind of behavior, that she can't accept people's comments about her statements and attacking other organizations. If she can't handle that, she shouldn't be on YouTube. Okay? In my opinion, she shouldn't be on YouTube. And she's also fraudulently stating that she cares about First Amendment rights. Then why does she have her comments all blocked? She doesn't allow comments on her. She's a hypocrite. This is some kind of front for something. It's a money-making scheme, whatever it is. Okay, she has 31,000 subscribers, which isn't much considering the amount of effort she puts into her channel. She puts in a lot of time and effort into her channel. And so I wanted to say that her Yelp review of me is completely fraudulent and delusional, and it lacks integrity on her behalf, because she's completely overlooking my statement about the Salvation Army that started the whole thing. And she's also claiming that my cyberstalking is cyberstalking instead of citizen journalism that I did on her, exposing her criminal charges in federal courts within the past 5 years, kidnapping of children, violence, crazy behaviors, threatening a federal judge. She's charged with threatening a federal judge. Those are serious things. If you want to know somebody who's calling herself TruthNatasha, who claims she has, at the time she claimed she had personal information coming in from the White House that she was revealing on her channel. So if you want to know, I'm a citizen journalist, and I'm going to let you know my experience with her. She's calling that cyberstalking, and she's saying that I have other victims. Okay, so she put that on a Yelp review of my notary business. So that's her integrity. Okay, that's the lady's integrity. That she can't take anybody's retort to anything she says on her channel. That's how delusional she is, and I would say that she has a kind of insanity that she is unable to see herself or admit. She doesn't. Sometimes the reason they're insane is because they think they're normal when they're not. So you can tell how insane a person is if they're unwilling to accept your statements like, I worked for the Salvation Army and they're a reputable organization. I'm a member of the Salvation Army and I have researched what they do and they are not a fraud organization. And if she can't accept that without viciously attacking you personally, and she put my name on her blog, the landlady here in my building in San Francisco who watches her channel mentioned she saw my name on that blog. Okay? And so that's why I decided after that, I'm going to do a citizens journalist article on TruthNatasha. And I found my research, I have a right to do it. It's not cyberstalking. I have a right to do it. Who is this person who attacked me and put my name on her blog, who's so arrogant to do something like that? I want to know. I want to know, because she's dangerous to my business, my notary business. I knew that she was going to eventually go for the throat on that. I knew it. That's the type of person she is. She's out for revenge. She will not accept any kind of counter to what she says in her videos. So I knew that she was going to attack my business at some point. So I did a citizens journalist laying out the facts of who she is and what she's done and what she's been brought to federal court for, and what her lawsuit against Google and YouTube and all these other social media companies are about, that she, I believe, filed in pro se, and she was asking money to support. And it turns out that they were just, dismissed right away. She was making a big deal like she was going to win them, right? So I wanted just to let the public know the lack of integrity of TruthNatasha, that she is unable to admit to any of her own problems, and that she plays the victim all the time. And the role of the victim is common in criminal networks, that they all think that they're the victims of something. They're unwilling for self-reflection. And I've proven in my cases that there have been people who are absolutely in denial of their own activities against me, that I pointed out, look at the setup that they did of me. They're completely delusional and unwilling to face what they did to me. Yet they will just make you look like you're the criminal. Okay? So I did the Citizens Journalist article on her, and she did this, she trespassed on my notary business, that Yelp rejected the review, but it's up in the non-recommended section. It shouldn't be up there at all. So that's a form of defamation because she was not my customer. You shouldn't be able to go on Yelp and do something like that. And like I say, she has no respect for anybody's heart. My heart was in the place of Salvation Army I'm a member of, and they do good work, and you're calling them a fraud, and you want my money. Here's $1, but I'm going to let you know in donating, I'm going to put in the notes section that they are not frauds, and I would appreciate it if you would take that out of the header of your YouTube channel, because I'm going to report this to the Salvation Army. She completely attacked me. The lady lacks a heart. She's heartless. She's always playing emotions like a con, okay? Because anybody with a heart would not react like that. Anybody with a heart to know that the Salvation Army helps families and disasters. It does a lot of work. It does a lot of work for people, okay? Real work. And she has no heart to be ripping me apart for bringing that up. She has no means of self-reflection. I would say, to the point now that she attacked me that way. I just saw it recently. I just could not believe that Natasha had the audacity to do that, okay? She's accusing me of cyberstalking her. I'm a citizen journalist. I may not have a badge or a credential, but I've made it clear on my blog who I am. I am a citizen's journalist. If she's going to call my doing research on her criminal activities, her recent criminal, the charges filed about her that are in the newspapers. The local newspapers about her problem. She's going to call that cyber-stalking? Really? No, Natasha, I'm a citizen's journalist. I started being a citizen's journalist in 1982, reporting on some battered woman the police were ignoring. I've been through a lot of suffering because of women like you, actually, who refuse to acknowledge you've got a serious problem. And you want to take it out on me. You want to take it on me. You can't handle reality. You live in this little dream world in your YouTube channel that you're truth. You're not of truth. You're a hypocrite. You're a witch. You want to control reality. You don't want to face that other people have other opinions. No, the Salvation Army is not a fraud, and no matter what your experience was, we all have experiences out here. They have millions of members, and they help people, and you are just this little person, little speck of sand, making a false claim against a charity that I'm a member of, and I have a right to give you $1, but I also say my 2 cents because you won't allow me to make a comment on your video. You claim you're for the First Amendment rights, that you filed a lawsuit against Google and social media fighting for our rights, and yet you won't let us speak. Yet you'll punish me like a typical witch, and you'll make false claims like I'm cyber-stalking you. Well, if you're not going to put your real name up there, and you're going to attack everybody, and you're going to attack a charity, you're going to be found out for who you are, and we're going to look up to see your criminal background. There's nothing that can prevent. You're on this YouTube channel, and we have every right to do that. That's not cyber stalking. You're going to make these false claims about a charity. We're going to find out if you're a con artist, Miss Natasha. We're going to find out what you're all about. You're making these claims about having an in with the White House. We're going to find out what you're all about. You think you can get away with this? Do you really think that you can get away with this? I mean, and then, that Yelp review was last year in April. It's been over a year now. And I just wanted to say that I'm bringing this to an end now, my little rant. But the nerve of this person, the nerve of this person, I mean, that she thinks that she can get away with having a YouTube channel and just being in a little bubble world without any comments on her whatsoever. Just a little bubble world that she can just say whatever she wants. She's God in her own little bubble world on YouTube, and she's living in complete hypocrisy that she wants to censor all of us on her YouTube channel. There's no comments allowed, and if you throw her $1, she's asking for money. It pisses her off that you add please don't attack the Salvation Army. They're real. And, I would appreciate it. I'm a member. Just take it out of the header because I'm reporting it to the Salvation Army, and she viciously attacked me. And I put the letter up on my blog about it. So I'm just letting people know this is the mental illness of women in this day and age involved in politics. They can't handle the truth. That's what's wrong with our political system. Okay? Too many women like this. Too many mentally ill women who have no foundation in Christ, who have no real truth in them, that they're liars, and basically they're operating under the spirit of witchcraft. Okay? So that's who, to me, TruthNatasha has revealed herself as. Okay? And, if you're going to sit there all day long putting out video after video after video, talking about all these things, you're going to have people who come back and say, listen, you're wrong about this. Please correct it. Here's my $1.